Hi everyone. Well, I'm recording this in September, so it's now the beginning of the autumn season for people living in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's really applicable to anybody that's just celebrating September, wherever you are. But, as the weather gets a little cooler, hopefully for certain people in the States, I know it's been super hot this summer, and here too, for that matter, I wanted to just go over some things that you can do as the autumn season starts that are both great for your self-care and maybe stepping outside your comfort zone a bit. And I think that that's where new adventures come, when we take that opportunity to just step outside of the normal things that we do every autumn. Make a wreath for the door. Do the pumpkin stuffing. All those things that everybody does. We always do it in the autumn. But here's some ideas for things that are maybe a little bit kind of outside the box. Well, or they're in the box, but they're a new twist. Now, autumn nature walks and hikes. Now, we all get out we often get out into the world during the autumn months because it's so beautiful. The leaves are changing color. We've got this kind of reminder that nature is, going to go to sleep for a while and then it's going to be reborn. And that's kind of that hopeful cycle of life that repeats itself. So I think that a couple of things you can do to make it different, though, is to join a group. There are so many people that go in groups on walking hikes. Now, I still am a big fan of meetup.com. I don't know whether you've tried it or whether any of you are using it, but there's some groups that go on specific, to specific places for autumn walks and, push those boundaries and meet new people. I think that's the secret here, is that you can easily go out on a hike and go walking in the forest, but do it with a group and see what you think. Another thing is autumn crafts and do-it-yourself, DIY projects. Now, of course, there's all like I said, the wreath you can make for your door with beautiful autumn colors, or you can make, pressed leaves in a scrapbook, or maybe make some jewelry out of acorns and, just whatever else you might pick up on your hikes. But do it in a way that is more, just stepping out a bit. Community groups again. Go to places online like Skillshare. I've got some names here. Domestika, Creative Bug. And there's one called Instructables, which I've never heard of that one. It's free, apparently. And then, of course, Instagram. You can get all kinds of inspiration from those places. So it's like going out into the world of crafting and design for the autumn, but do it with some inspiration, and maybe that's stepping outside your comfort zone because you've never done that before, or it's a little bit scary. So sometimes scary is good. So think about that. But I've never heard of Domestika or Creative Bug. Have you heard? I've heard of Skillshare, and actually I know them pretty well, but try something new. I mean, in addition to going online where there's tons of stuff, I know what I'm doing lately. I haven't got any near me. Is paper folding. I've gone onto Instagram, and there are these amazing women that take just a simple piece of paper and they fold them into envelopes and origami. And I've been doing some of that. It's really, really fun. But anyway, try some of these groups and see what you think, and give me feedback. If you found any that you really love, groups that do crafts and autumn activities, let me know. What else have we got? Oh, seasonal cooking and baking, of course. I mean, you got your things like, as I mentioned, your, carrot cake and pumpkin pies and all those classic things. But try something a little different. A friend of mine just made a cake, and they put a whole pear in it, like the whole fruit in the cake. And then, and I didn't even know you could do this, but apparently it's a thing, pineapple and other fruits you can put inside a cake. Maybe you know about this, maybe you've done it, but since I don't cook that many cakes from scratch, I'm not the best person to talk about cakes. But, step outside your comfort zone, try new things, new tastes. Maybe have a potluck. Now, a potluck might be themed around, autumn themes, or it could be international, like cook Indian food or cook food from Eastern Europe. But have use the autumn when you can bake those things and don't not heat up your house so much. The soups and the pies and the cakes, and just have a potluck. Have everybody bring an item, and it's just like a good fun autumn activity. Another thing, to way to embrace the season is to actually be mindful about it. And I think that meditation, I don't know, yoga. I mean, maybe if you're into yoga, but meditation and just sitting, praying, thinking, using the season to, establish some new habits, in the morning, doing a gratitude list, writing in a gratitude journal. I just read I saw a video about a woman that started doing the, what was it called? The Artist Way. And I never did that, but she was saying how much just writing in the morning, about the season, about what's changing around you, and watching and just scribbling anything that comes to your mind was just a life changer for her. Has anybody done that? I'd love to know what your experience was. I mean, to me, the thought of writing 2 pages a morning, it doesn't appeal to me at all. But apparently, if you do it, it can make a big difference. Getting out in the open, the things that are deep inside you. Maybe that's what I'm afraid of, like a lot of us. But anyway, the next thing that you can do to, just approach autumn and embrace the season in a different way would be photography. Now, I love taking pictures of doors. You know this. I have doors everywhere on my phone. I think I would say a good third of my pictures are doors. But there's doors with new wreaths, doors with autumn decoration, with messaging, with like even what do you call it? In the States, I know you do this a lot. These out in your garden, you put the stakes with things on them, and take pictures of those. But autumn pictures, things that are unique to the autumn. Join a photography group. That's a cool thing to do too in the autumn months. Just join a group that's going out to do photography. You'll be surprised. I've taken in my life a couple of photography classes. One with an amazing photographer. His name is Bruce Dale. He worked for the Geographic, and he was a good friend of my ex-husband and I. But he and I went with he and his colleague, his used to be boss, Bob Gilka, who was also with Geographic, and his wife Janet, who became an absolute dear friend of mine. But that's another story. We used to go on photography workshops with them, and they would take us to Provence and other really cool places. And it was something about being in a group that you notice stuff differently. Like, it was almost like you wanted to share, like, oh, do you see that? But then they would say, do you see this? And I was like, oh, no. And over you go. So anyway, that's something that's really cool. Photography, outdoor photography. Well, indoor too, I suppose, but outdoor. Gardening and autumn planning. Now, planting, like you've got things you can do in the autumn, like the bulbs and all that things, those things you can plant for the spring. And then you've got the beautiful chrysanthemums and the deep, dark, beautiful flowers that come into blossom in the autumn. I've got here, experiment with herb gardening is another thing. I need a little drink of my tea. Hold on a second, guys. Tea. I think, I matches my necklace. I didn't notice that. Turquoise. So anyway, that's another thing. Experiment with different planting techniques or different pots and container pots. Another thing is to volunteer. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities in the autumn in gardens and parks and places outside. But you can also just do your own thing. Reading list for autumn. Yes, reading. It's in the summer I have trouble. Like right now it is September, but I've got my fan because it's hot. It's still very warm. But as the autumn comes into blossom, there's like a chance to sit in a comfy chair with a little blanket and read, and to start a book club or join a book club, but use this time to catch up on reading. In fact, the whole winter months period I think is good for this. It just gives you a little hibernation opportunity. Not that if you're still working and doing stuff, you've got to keep busy and active, but if you are kind of retired or sort of semi-retired or have a few hours in the day, reading is a really cool thing to do. Another thing, final thing I'd mention is exploring your neighborhood and your local culture. A lot of the museums have special exhibits in the autumn, preparing for the winter months, and just get out. Enjoy the seasonal decorations in other towns. The special, I guess the pumpkin latte that everybody goes mad about in September, October. But just use it as a time for exploring your neighborhood that maybe you missed in the summer months. And now it's cooler. And also the big thing in Europe is the crowds go away. So I can go up to the mountains a bit in September, October, and it's just not that crowded. And same with Italy, which I'm very fortunate to live near. I can go and not be overwhelmed by tourists. But I'm a tourist too, and I never judge. It's just, for me personally, it's a great time of the year to travel. And just another great time to just reflect. You've got through 3/4 of a year. What's left for the next 3 months that you're going to focus on, and what are your priorities? So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Leave a comment in the section below. That makes a big difference to me. I try to answer everybody. And also, like the comment, like it in the video. Subscribe to this channel on YouTube. We have almost 260,000 people now. It's a big group, but still, we love you here. And then also, of course, join our Patreon supporters group if you would like to help 60andMe stay not ad free, but it's fewer ads, and put a bit of money into the business because we don't charge for anything that we do. That's the Patreon supporters group. And also that group of women are going on trips. They're meeting each other in person. Well, whenever we do, like we're doing a trip to Tuscany next year, mostly people from the Patreon group. We're doing a cruise in the winter month in 25 to the Danube. I just don't think, because we've done so many trips, the Danube. And, we're planning all kinds of things. I'm actually planning a Greek cruise in the spring next year. So if anybody's got their eyes on a Greek cruise, I have found the perfect itinerary. And I'll tell you more about that later, because I've sent messages to the people to see whether we can take a group, because I don't know whether they'll have any space, but I'm just not promising anything until I hear. But if you're interested in Greece, and oh my goodness, it would probably be like maybe May next year, May or June. I actually don't know. I shouldn't even say anything, I promise. But anyway, we'll see. Take good care of yourselves. Come back and visit next video, and know that I love you. I care about you so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are, whether it's autumn or winter or summer in the Southern Hemisphere. Just enjoy every precious moment. Okay, guys, take care.